I'm going to be discussing what Mera's 6th move could be in Grand Peace Online. So Mera only has 5 moves, which is one less than the majority of other legendary fruits, and it also has no passive like a water walk or a special dash like Pika or Goro. So overall, it is a really strange thing that it only has 5 moves. Okay, so I'm going to be exclusively referencing techniques used by Ace in One Piece, as this is the main user of the Mera fruit. Of course, I won't spoil who uses it later, but for now, all you need to know is that all these techniques are used by Ace in One Piece. So keep that in mind while watching. Okay, so the first technique on my list is Higan, or Fire Guns. Now, the strengths of this technique are it has a lot of range, it's good for farming because it's consistent, like fire. It's a consistent attack that goes again and again and again, and it probably has a low stamina drain too, so it's pretty you can basically keep doing it as long as you're hitting the opponent, because the stamina drain won't be too much so that you have to stop. However, some weaknesses are that the user is kind of stuck in one place, and it's very easily blockable, and it does really low damage, I think, if it was in the game. This is of course all hypothetical, so you could do whatever you want with these techniques, and could make them completely different to how they are in the anime. Now, the second technique is Shinka Shiranai. I probably pronounced that horribly wrong, but it translates to Godfire, Unknown Fire. Now, the strengths of this technique are, I would assume it would be a ranged block break, because it looks like a block break. It's these 2 javelins, these 2 fire javelins. It has a pretty large AoE, because of course the javelins are pretty big. It does high damage and a lot of knockback, I would assume, so it's pretty good for getting that distance, so you can heal up a little bit. But some weaknesses are it's got a really long cooldown, I would assume, and it's got a high charge up time, and that's pretty much the main 2 weaknesses I could think of hypothetically for this ability. Now, the third move is called Enjamo. I might be butchering that pronunciation, but let's just go on with the video. It's called Blaze Net in English, and its strengths are it's good for farming, high burn damage probably, and it's good for stopping players from following you. Because all it really is just a fence of fire. It's this round circle of fire that when you use it, it would just kind of gate somebody into a certain area. Of course, there are some weaknesses. So some weaknesses are it does low damage, it's easily dodgeable, just like Geppo away, and it's hard to land in PvP. Now, the fourth move is Jujika, or I don't know how you pronounce that. I probably apologize 4 times about pronunciation, but I'm going to do it again, because again, I'm trying my best. But the move in English is called Crossfire. It's a pretty obvious, it's pretty easy to understand. It's just Ace crosses his fingers and shoots a beam of fire at an opponent. The strengths are it does high damage, it's targetable, so you can kind of aim it at a certain location, like an NPC or a boss or that kind of thing. It's really fast. I would assume it would be a really fast fire. However, some weaknesses are that it's probably really easy to block because it's got a very linear path, and it's also got quite low AoE, so it's again pretty dodgeable. And I would assume the charge up times would be quite long, because you have to put the hands together, do a whole animation to fire it. Next up we have, oh, that's it. Those are all. I thought I had more techniques, but those are apparently all the techniques I had written down. Overall, yeah, they're just a series of techniques that are from the anime. Ace uses them a lot. I could see them being used in GPO, and Mera kind of does need a 6th move. I wouldn't say it's desperately needing it, because you can very much have a very meta build and just use the 5 moves. For example, Flame Pillar is pretty good, just a block break. It's a really powerful block break. You got Hiken, which is good for just damage. Fireflies is good for getting that little bit of burn damage in there. Overall, Mera is in no way hindered by the fact that it has only 5 moves, but if it did have 6 moves, it would probably be a really, really strong fruit, even stronger than it is currently. And some of these moves, though, there's a lot of them that are if we go back to the beginning, I'll just go over them again, because it's only been 3 minutes, so let's go over them again. So we have Higan, or Fire Guns. It's pretty useful. It's really just it reminds me a lot of Fireflies in the fact that it's just a bunch of small attacks. However, the downside is obviously you have to stand still when you use it, and I am assuming it's targetable. But I guess you could use it for farming things like sea beasts or just bosses, because you could sit back and use your moves from range. overall, just a really cool way to get like a little bit of a low damage move. It would add a little bit of strength to Mera, but not make it too broken. Next up we have, so I said the Godfire Unknown Fire, which is basically just 2 flame javelins. This one, when I was talking about it, I said it should be a block break. Looking back on it now, that's probably not a good idea because Mera's already got a block break, unless you want to make it a ranged block break. But then again, ranged block breaks aren't really that much of a... I guess Pika has Light Sword and also Light Lunge and that like mirror kick thing, so that's 2 block breaks. So it makes sense if Mera had 2 block breaks. So maybe you could add the flame javelins as a second ranged block break. Back onto Blaze Net though. This one I kind of threw in there because it was like a technique that I hadn't really seen before, and also I thought like I needed another technique to fill in time. So I thought here's a technique that's pretty easy to talk about. Although looking at it now, it's kind of it would have to get like reworked in GPO, because a simple like ring of fire is really easy to dodge in GPO. Like most people have Geppo, just Geppo out of it. I guess it limits their dashing ability, because if you like circle them in, they can't exactly dash away from you. But in the same sense, it's kind of like it's pretty easy to dodge, and the stamina cost to use it would probably not be as high as the like reward of damage on the opponent. So that one's kind of like a throwaway move. You can kind of like, that's up to you if you like it or not. We have the Crossfire. This one I like a lot because it's just like a really simple, cool technique where he fires like a beam of fire. I did say it was targetable, so that's a good thing, I suppose, because if you're farming a boss, you don't exactly want to be fighting. You want to get a clean shot at the boss and not be like hit by another player, that kind of thing. So that's pretty useful. I said long charge up times, but I'm sure it wouldn't be too long. It probably wouldn't even be noticeable. Damage will probably be a lot too. So yeah, I've gone over everything twice now, but leave a comment down below if you have any ideas for Mera's 6th move. It'd be really interesting to see what you guys think. I have to admit, I was a little bit underwhelmed when I found out that Mera only had 5 moves and everyone else only had 6 moves. I was like, I felt cheated. I felt like, Furry, my favorite fruit, you only gave it 5 moves. Like, come on. But yeah, leave a comment down below if you think Mera should get a 6th move or not. And yeah, that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I try and keep my videos in open discussion. So yeah, leave a comment. And that's, yeah, I hope you're having a great day, evening, or whatever time it is for you, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.